that whatever happens on the whatever happens on the left side has to translate over to the right, okay? We already know about the M, that's the quantity of money. V is the velocity, the number of deals, number of loans going on. Now the right side, that's P times Q, price times Q. All I know is that's the pricing on the other side. So we know there's a massive amount of M out. And if there's just a little pickup in the velocity, the economy picks up more loan demand, unless the government takes all that M out, it doesn't take a genius to realize that there's going to be a massive amount of cash on this side, which is going to have to translate over to this side. And so the trick for the Fed is to take that money out. And how do they do it? Well, they raise interest rates and they take reserves out of the banking system like they did in the late 70s. But when they did it last time, it caused a recession. We're already in a recession. How are they going to do this? How are they going to withdraw that money out? So I think it's just a mathematical certainty, unfortunately, that we are going to get inflation. So what does that mean for us as apartment owners? That's okay, here's the bottom line. This is a cool book, The Ascent of Money by Niall Ferguson from Scotland. He studied Germany in 1923 during that hyperinflation. This is what he said: only entrepreneurs were in a position to insulate themselves by adjusting prices upwards. Entrepreneurs, landlords, raising rents, okay, you get that? Okay. Investing in real assets such as houses or factories, and paying off debts in depreciating banknotes. Okay, that's the key. Now, I have a 3-point strategy for buying during inflation. And you have to do all these 3 in tandem. If one fails, there's a good chance that all 3, the whole thing is going to fail. First of all, rents have to go up with inflation. They have to go freely up. You cannot have any restrictions on rents. Now we have rent control in San Francisco and Berkeley. In Oakland, we have rent control with a CPI. Is that going to be good enough? We'll see. We have to invest near jobs. People are going to need to, if they're going to be paying higher rents, inflated rents, they're going to need to be near jobs and earn a lot of money. Okay, so we've already seen that the best thing in the Inner Bay Area is to be as close to San Francisco as possible. I wouldn't want to buy in Antioch. I wouldn't want to buy in the Valley. I want to be in the Inner Bay Area. Second, highly leveraged. You have to buy with as much bank or owner financing as possible, as little money as possible down. And I'll get into that in a second. And lastly, fixed rate financing. You want fixed rate financing. You do not want adjustable rate financing. You want your rents to be able to go up, and you want your debt service capped. If you have adjustable rate mortgages and the Federal Reserve raises interest rates, that might raise your debt service. Your debt service goes up, eats into your rents, your cash flow, and that could defeat the whole thing. You see, all 3 have to work in tandem. Now, leverage. This is pretty cool. Now, this slide assumes a 15% inflation rate. Historically, not outside the realm of possibility. That means that every 5 years, prices double. Now, this is without leverage. You buy $1 million building, all cash. 5 years later, you sell it for $2 million. You're no better off than you were before. That $2 million has been eaten up by inflation. You can buy the same number of loaves of bread with that $2 million as you can with the $1 million. Now, can you imagine if you have that $1 million in cash in the bank? In this country, right now, there is $3.5 trillion in money market accounts. Can you imagine when inflation starts and people see that their money's being eaten up by inflation? Do you think they're going to have it laying in the bank? No. What are they going to do? They're going to buy apartments. The demand, money coming into it, prices are going to go up. Now let's look at leverage. You buy that same $1 million building with $200,000 down, you get $800,000 in bank financing, owner financing, a combination, fixed rate financing. You sell it for $2 million. and you pay off the $800,000 loan with depreciating banknotes. You pay off the loans with inflated dollars. That may be what the federal government plans on doing with their debt. Who knows? But that's what we're going to be doing. So now you have $1.2 million left over in 5 years. But that's not worth $1.2 million. It's only worth $600,000 because of inflation. But you only have $200,000 into it. Now you've got $600,000. You've tripled your net wealth. You see how important leverage is to the whole strategy. Now leverage is great in inflation, but leverage in deflation is not the greatest. And we've seen what deflation can do. People have bought at the top of the market, and their values have come down, their loans are constant, their equities have been squeezed. So those people might be who we should go after buying with this strategy. So here's an example, a real-life example of one building that's currently on the market. It's not my listing. If anybody would like to buy this, I'd be more than happy to represent them. This is a building in Oakland. It's 11 units. 8 are fairly new, built in 1990 in the back. They're exempt from rent control, so the rents can really go up. Okay. This was purchased in July of 2007 for $1.4 million. It has a $1,050,000 loan with Chase, 75% loan to value ratio. Originally listed at $1,525,000, currently listed at $1,275,000. Can be delivered according to the broker at $1,225,000. The current quote from the lender, since they've lowered their loan to value ratio down to 65%, is $796,000. The down payment is $429,000. Would you buy that? Questions at the end? Sorry. You bought it?
No, it's pending.
Oh, okay, it's pending. Sorry. Sorry.
So today.
Too late. Too late. Down $429,000 down to buy that. Would you buy it? No. But the bank will not allow that $1,050,000 to be assumed without a huge paydown. And they've had 3 failed escrows until this one. Maybe this one will fail too, because what they did, they said, we'll buy the property subject to the bank loan. We'll just start making the payments, and we'll see what happens. Well, they walked away 3 times because either they got legal advice or they talked to somebody saying, you may not want to do that. You might get a call from the lender saying, I'm sorry, didn't you forget to pay it off? Or to get our approval? We want you to pay this loan down or pay it off. So anyway, that's what caused that. So the trick is to buy these properties with these loans. And we'll hear in just a few minutes from our special guest speaker, Bill, about how to do this. We've solved the subject to problem. Now these are a few properties that we have on the market. Questions at the end? Sorry, I'm sorry, I have questions at the end. Sorry. This is a 6-plex in San Leandro. This lady bought this for $1,150,000. She's selling it now for $975,000. She's tired of the rental business. She thinks it's going to go down more, and she's willing to carry $100,000. Now this one has a loan that's it's not fixed, so this may not fit our profile, but it's at 4.1% right now, and it might take that loan a long time to get up. So anyway, she's willing to carry and make this a 25% down deal. So this might work. This is a 26 unit building we have listed in East Oakland. This is a foreclosure, and the people who took it back will carry with 25% or less down, 5% fixed. So this one adheres to the strategy.